tell you about small business with Obamacare is you don't want to be big business.
Yeah.
And no doubt about it, you do not want to grow, you do not want to add jobs, you do not want to add to your payroll, because at bare minimum, if I don't insure one of the kids that work for me, which is $90 a month for him and $90 a month for me, a little over $1,000 a year, this kid's right now spending maybe $100, $150 a year on health care if he catches the flu that year. He's going to go to spending $1,000. That's $1,000 he doesn't have to spend in anybody else's business. You know, because he's got to pay this whether he uses it or not. And I've got to match that if I give him insurance. If I don't give him insurance, I pay a $2,000 a head fine. But only if I'm big business, as long as I keep my staff down around 60. I'm currently at 85. Do the math. I can. All right. There you go. It says here that, you know, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men were created equal and that they're endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. We have been created. I don't care if your Creator is an accident, and I don't care if your Creator is a scary man in the clouds. The First Amendment allows us to discuss that some other time. But we have all agreed to be created in the United States, and if you don't like that, move to France. It ain't hard. Our Creator gave us a right to life, a right to liberty, and a right to pursue happiness. Our government doesn't give us rights. Sad truth is, along with rights come certain responsibilities. The right, healthcare is not a right. It is a responsibility.
Yes.
The simple fact is that the right to life comes with it at adulthood. My daughter just turned 18, I know this. She now has the responsibility to manage herself as a sovereign citizen. She has to have control over her productive and non-productive years. She has to manage her safety. She has to manage her own health and her own well-being. And we all saw in Katrina what happens when you count on the government for your safety, didn't we? They let the buses swim, we know that. By the same token, you should not have a right to impose in any way on any other sovereign citizen the care or management of the responsibilities for yourself, because that's going to impede their ability to care for themselves as a sovereign individual. Quit imposing upon me to fund your responsibilities. I'd like to say something about the 13th Amendment. We don't talk about that a whole lot. 13th Amendment, we all know, abolished slavery, did it not?
Yes.
Let me give you the sad math facts, folks. What is slavery? Slavery is to be a slave or to be controlled by another person or persons so that your will does not determine your life's course, and the rewards for your work and sacrifices are not yours to claim. Agreed upon? Well, last year, now I started this business a little over 17 years ago. In March of '94, we were incorporated. In April of '94, my daughter was born, bless her heart. She turned 18 recently. And November of '94, the Nederland Papa John's was born. And it's going to turn 18 this year. I'm proud of it. And then June 15th of next year, the Beaumont Papa John's is going to be 15 years old. I've been making a living off of young adults for 33 years. I've got tens of thousands of kids I've sent to college. I can't even tell you how many families have got started because a couple team members were dating and then got married, and then I get to meet their kids later at a Rotary function. In short, 33 years of producing jobs. And that long and productive career has been destroyed by slavery. That's my reward instead of retirement. Slavery, you might ask? Well, here's the math. 2011, my business profited, my net income according to my taxes, I'll show anybody who wants to see it, $36,627, 100% of my profits. $38.75 federal income tax, $14,000 in state franchise tax. Don't get us started on the gross margins tax. We'll go off. You think the feds are giving it to the business? Look at that, 38% of my profits they took.
That's whether you make a dime or not.
Whether I make a dime or profit or not, they're going to get their money. Jefferson County, Orange County, personal property tax. I have to pay personal property tax on my ovens, my refrigeration, my inventory, 38.5%. So just the big three, 87.5% in taxes. Add to that tax, sales tax, phone tax, trash tax, water tax, gasoline tax, payroll tax, property tax, and taxes ad nauseum. And it's my personal opinion that Mom and Pop worked for our various governmental entities, paid them. I guarantee you, I paid 115, 120% to work last year. Now remember the definition of slavery. I'm not entitled to the rewards for my work in my 80-hour work week for 33 years, putting up with 100 teenagers. Anybody want my life? I'm already your economic slaves. Where is the money for PPACA supposed to come from? The Personal Protection Affordable Care Act. Affordable, I like that word. Yeah, right. $2,000 a head. What do you, the people, leave me with the job creator to create jobs with? What do you, the people, what makes you think I want to create any more jobs? You think I want 150 teenagers? Really? I don't need any more jobs. They won't do anything to add to my pursuit of happiness. What it means to me right now is it stands today, where I'm at today. Just the $2,000 fine, tax, sorry, it's not a fine, it's a tax. Thank you, John Roberts, for that clarity. You know, that's an extra 55 to 82% of last year's profits. Are you guys all ready to pay 20 bucks for a large pepperoni pizza? That's just the math. That's just the math. Now, of course, if I cut 15 jobs, I won't pay any fines. Now, what are those kids going to do now that they're out of a job? Where are they going? You think I'm the only one cutting minimum wage jobs to avoid paying a $2,000 fine? They're going to be on the streets.
Already, Siren.
Now, they're entry level. You'll have to go work for them. This right here is the blueprints to the East Beaumont Papa John's. Land bought and paid for, 125 grand gone. Dirt sitting there now, waiting to be mowed every week by Pop. I open that thing, it's going to cost me an extra $100,000 to $140,000 a year in profits that I have to overcome. Now with 3 shops, I made $36,000 last year. Do the math. 4 shops, hello? Plus opening expenses, really? You know, it took 10 years for me to be profitable. 10 years I worked for free. Now I'm finally making a little money and I'm working for free again. This is my new baby shop. That job, we have 50 to 75 jobs in the 01 and the 05 zip. Think we could use 50 to 75 jobs, Steve, in the 05, the 01 zip? You think those kids need to get off the street and get to work? Especially if they get to work for me, right? That's 80 young adults gainfully employed and producing economic activity on the east side of town where we need starter jobs the most. They're not paying their tuition at Lamar this fall working for me. And that's passed by you, the people. Thank you very much. You guys have murdered my baby shop. My team is grieving. We've spent since Thursday, June 28th, grieving for the loss of 50 kids that are not going to be on our team, that we don't get to play with. The general manager, who's already been developed, he's waiting in the wings for his new store, so excited, until Thursday, June 28th, when our baby died. Now, I promised I'd put it on hold. I'm not killing it. I'm not putting the land up for sale yet. If in November, the American people wake up and smell the coffee and vote in a new, and then come January, I better see some activity killing this thing dead. Or I'm going to... I'll go visit families and friends first before I'll go work for free. So would you. If you don't go to work each day for free, why do you expect me to? You, the people, have stolen my creator-given right to provide for my life, live in liberty, and pursue my happiness with your insatiable desire to confiscate the fruits of my labor through your excessive taxations. And if you didn't just piddle the money away on stupid stuff like turtle tunnels, it might be easier to take. State representatives tell me that they need the gross margin tax to pay for education. Well, I hate to tell you, you're a miserable failure in education. I have to teach these kids what to do. They don't come to me knowing how to work. They think a schedule is an option, just like going to school. You know, they think that stealing from me is okay as long as they do it because they're my friend. You know, there's borrowing, whatever. You fail to educate our kids so miserably that we incarcerate 25% of them. I got robbed by a kid for $200. Used a shotgun. 30 years hard time. Think maybe somebody failed to educate that kid as to the wisdom of robbing me for $200? Now I got two old men in their 60s putting carpet in my house, doing my part for economic activity. They're asking me about this kid because they know him. I told him how frustrated I was that he wasn't educated and thought that was a good idea. Instead, he should be the 30-year-old down there on the knees putting the carpets in while the 60-year-old's watching. Those men were on their knees putting carpet in my house at 60 years old. Where was that kid? In jail. That's kind of pointless. Don't ask for more money for education, please. Speaking of which, don't we have a right to property? These are my shoes. I have a right to my shoes, right? What's the difference between the money that buys those shoes and the shoes? My money is my property. Leave it alone. Quit taking my property. He's right. It was legal. We gave him the power with the 16th Amendment to tax income. And if you don't think the money you're paying for the PPACA is income, then you're not paying attention while you're at it. Repeal the 17th Amendment. Put the power back to the state. Y'all have to forgive me if I get up on my high horse, but I'm grieving the loss of a child right now. It makes me really unhappy and really sad. Because those kids would have benefited a lot from working for me like tens of thousands of kids have over the years.
I would have liked to senior school over here. I would have liked to have put 50 to 75 more kids to work, by the way. I've ordered a pizza on this side. It ain't pretty.